Hi guys, and welcome back to Crafty Quilting Designs. I hope you're well and having a beautiful day. Today is a beautiful day for me. I can finally open my windows and allow the sun to shine on my face. Well, it's light. The sun is kind of over there. All right, so let's get busy. Now, I know for myself, when I just started quilting, there were so many abbreviations or acronyms for quilting. Today, if you are a beginner quilter, and when I say beginner, I mean you're just wetting your foot. You know, you're just tipping your toes in the ocean, okay? You're just doing a slight painting job to see if you like the color. So today, I'm going to debunk some of that for you. So let's get started, people. Let's get started. First one. Now, as I was saying, when I first started to quilt, I know for myself, a lot of the abbreviations was just like, what are these people referring to? And if you're like me, when I first started and I used to try and read quilting patterns, they on their own was like reading, I don't know, the encyclopedia. You know, so many different words are just words coming back at you. And your brain is like, what's all this information? Today we're going to clarify that. Now, I know you're going to know the more common ones. And I think as quilting moves on, I think also there seems to be more new ones coming on board. All right. So I was thinking about this and I just felt that this is just crazy. Where is all these things coming from? Why is it that beginners have to be so confused as to what they're actually trying to learn? I mean, all you want to do is quilt, right? I know. And you just want it to be simple and basic and, you know, user friendly. All right. I'm going to put them on the screen as I go on. Now, have you ever seen the acronym AOD? What do you think that means? Yeah? All over design. Can you imagine that? AOD, so they can't just simply write all over design. So if you're planning a quilt, you know, and in that pattern, it will say an AOD, you know, this pattern is an AOD, for example, and they simply means an all over design. Now, I do believe I can actually see myself now. I couldn't see myself in the camera. Can you imagine that? That's how blind I am. So, okay, all over design. So I'm going to put them on the screen as I said. So number 2 is B2B. Border to border. Can you imagine that? Now, would you have even considered that someone would put B2B in a quilt pattern? Why? It's not needed, you know? So basically, all they're saying to you is that you need to trim border to border so that it fits nice and snug. Yeah. I would have preferred that's just written to me. Okay, now this one used to confuse me until I actually heard someone actually say it. So BOM, block of the month. Yeah. That one is easy to explain. So basically, it's like a quilt along or a block along, I should say. And one block is released per month. So the block of the month. All right. That one is easier. Those are one of the ones that used to trick me in the beginning. But as I said, when I heard someone said it, I was like, oh, that's what BOM means. All right, this is a fun tutorial, guys. So just let's chill out and relax. Okay, the next one is BSS. Guess what? Basic sewing supplies. It really should have been basic quilting supplies. So BQS. Did I just come up with one? And I was just complaining about people making new ones. So basic sewing supplies. I think that's sort of self-explanatory. It was like when I did my video about why is quilting so expensive, and I went on to say that, you know, we just need the basic quilting supplies. So BQS. All right. So the next one is, I think, one you've probably seen. It is a ruler that you would use, or a template. Okay, it is the DWR. First person to jot it down below. Double wedding ring. That was an easy one, wasn't it? That was an easy one. Today we're having quilt quizzing. All right, this one you should know, okay? Because you would see this. A lot of people use it for piecing. I am not so inclined to use it because I hate having to remove the paper. Because I just think after sewing it on or piecing it on, it's another job to do. So EPP, what do you think I'm referring to? That's right, it's English paper piecing. When I first heard that, I was like, what are they talking about? English paper piecing, you know? I couldn't understand it. It was just like, it was like gibberish. I was like, English paper piecing? It was like mind-boggling. But basically, it just means that it allows you to sew complex fabric in a very neat fashion without having to mess it up. So when I say neat, you can get all your points basically, because, you know, you can just tear it off after. But I personally feel it's another job for me. Right, so this one is a new one for me. I've not seen this one, okay? This one is FART, and it's Fabric Acquisition Road Trip. No, that's a mouthful. Seriously, sounds like fart. Why didn't they just say fart? Fart. Sorry, Karen, why are you being disgusting? So basically mean, you know, sometimes you run out of fabric and you're hitting the road. That's what it means. You're going shopping. You're hitting the road to find that fabric. So that's what FART means. Fabric Acquisition Road Trip. All right, this one, I think I have seen this on a actual pattern actually, and I did kind of figure it out in the end, because for me, I stare at things, I'll be like literally focusing on thinking, what are they thinking about, what are they referring to? Okay, so this one is FFO, and I do like this one. I do like this one because it means a finally finished object, and it refers to your first quilt block ever. I do like that one because when you make your very first quilt block, it's like, I can breathe. You know, that relief that comes with doing it properly and literally seeing it. So that's what it means. Finally finished object, but it refers to your very first quilt block. So that's why this is for beginners only, because I know you experienced quilters out there. You know all about it already. See, they don't share their secrets, don't they? They keep it all to themselves and they put it in the pattern only to drive you even more crazy. All right, so there's another one, FPP. I know you know this one. It's just like the EPP, same difference. What do you think it is? Foundation paper piecing. That's what it is. It's a very old technique. Most of them are anyway, you know. Again, for me, no, it's just too much work having to tear off that paper. I know in the olden days they used to use muslin, you know, because then that's a bit soft. It's like very much woven and you can cut it off. But for me, that's another labor. But again, it helped you to actually, you know, sew properly, get your points, get your lines straight, so things like that. So yeah, it's all right for people who like it. I'm not really that technically inclined patient. That's just too much patience for me to do something like that. All right, so the next one is FQ. That's really easy. That's really easy. Fat quarters, basically. Have you ever wondered what is a fat quarter? It's a piece of fabric. It just simply means that a fat quarter is made by cutting a yard in a full piece of fabric, then cutting it in half vertically. That's what it is. So a yard of fabric cut in half and then cut in half again, so you get 4 quarters. 4 quarters. I'm in a good mood, aren't I? I'm messing around. I'm in one of those childish behaviors. It's good to be like that sometimes because this is a fun learning tutorial and I like making learning fun. Should we make that an acronym? Like making learning fun. Like M, learning fun. Oh, LMFF, I think. Like making learning fun. Yeah! Like making learning fun. Yeah, that's going to be our acronym. L for like, M for making, L for learning, and F for fun. Yay! All right, so the next one, I think those of us who use this particular machine to do their actual quilting would know what it is. Or if you read a pattern and it's telling you how to quilt it, it will be definitely written on there. It's LAQM. What do you think it means? What do you think it means? What do you think it means? A long arm quilting machine. Yeah, I think we all know what that means and I don't have to explain that. It's a massive machine, 14 foot in length. Why am I making it such fun? And what it does, it focuses on a large area at a time so that you can actually quilt. That's it. So singular areas for a long arm machine. So that's why when we are quilting in our sewing machine, we got to focus on a really tiny, probably at least, 5 inches squared, much space at a time, whereas a long arm, you get a little bit, you get much more, I should say. All right, so the next one you would definitely know is LC. And it got to do with fabric. What do you think that means? I can't hear you. It's a layer cake. And it basically means it's a pack of 10 inches squared from a line of fabrics that's chosen to put into that layer cake. That's one of the easier ones. Those are the ones that we already know. These are the ones we learn very quickly. So layer cake, you would learn like off the back because it's used quite often. A lot of YouTubers use it or quilters use it, you know, so definitely that's something you are going to pick up quite easily. Another one, I have never usually used this acronym, but it's LQS. So rather than saying I'm going on to the quilt shop, you will say I'm going on to the LQS, which means I'm going to my local quilt shop. I mean, but why would you make that an acronym though? I mean, excuse me. Yeah, I do feel though, all jokes aside, that some things should just be full worded. I do feel that. I always wonder about children because there's so many abbreviations. It's like people are almost getting lazy to speak. Seriously, so that everything is got to be, you know, abbreviated. Now, going off quilting for 1 second, I promise I'll be back. When they first started calling Kentucky Fried Chicken KFC, do you know I didn't like it? I still don't. I was like, why would they name KFC? Why would they abbreviate it? Because to me, I felt a lot of children wasn't learning things. You know, I always hated it. I don't like abbreviations. I really don't. I just think, let's just speak properly and let's just say the word, because otherwise children will grow up just knowing the abbreviated terms and not actually knowing what those abbreviation actually means. But I hated the fact that they started calling Kentucky Fried Chicken KFC. So that's one of my little private pet peeves. Well, it's not private anymore because I just shared it with everybody. All right, so going back to the local quilt shop, yeah, it's just when you're really excited, you're going to get some more of your fabric and you're really acquainted with that particular quilt store or quilt shop, because yeah, if it's your local, they will know you, isn't it? All right, so the next one is OBW, and I'm reaching for this because if you're making a quilt out of one block, it is called a one block wonder. So something like this. This is a new quilt there I go again. This is a new quilt I've started, and I'm going to be using just this one block to make my quilt. So my quilt is going to be comprised of a one block wonder. Yeah, that's it. That's it. Nothing too exciting with that one. But again, that may trick you up if you didn't know what they mean. All right. So another one, you know, QST, quarter square triangle, you know, HST, half square triangles. Those are the easy ones that we hear all the time. Now, there's a new one I have discovered, and I did not know it was an acronym. It is called STASH. You will not guess. If you knew what this means, tell me down below. Karen, I knew what STASH meant as an acronym, but I'm going to tell you now. I've got to read this one. It says, STASH, accumulation beyond life expectancy. Actually, when they put it like that, I see what they mean. Yeah, I see what they mean, because basically what they're saying, it's you may not be able to finish your stash of the fabric you have. Is going to last for centuries, so it may outlive you. So as much as it's it kind of makes sense, it's also kind of sad. When I saw that, I was like, wow, that's a little bit depressing, you know. So stash, accumulation beyond life expectancy. Wow. So guys, so if you know you've got that stash that's going to be beyond your life expectancy, you need to start working on them, trimming it down, and don't buy any more fabric. It's going to outlive you. Another one I've discovered is called SQST. Yeah, who comes up with these? I would like to know who comes up with these names. It's called a split quarter square triangle. Why, people? Why? 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 There is no need. No need to call it that. Seriously, you know. UFO, we know UFO, unfinished object. Yeah, that one was a debunking for me. It's like, when I first heard it, I was like, UFO, you know what? I thought they were referring to UFOs. I tell you no lie. I was like, what? UFOs? Are they talking about aliens? Seriously, that's what I thought it was. All right, okay, but then I realized, oh, it's an unfinished object, you know. And then I was like, why can't they say an unfinished project? You know, yes, so that was like mind blowing to me. I thought that UFOs. Don't be laughing at me now, okay? No laughing at me. All right. So the next one is WF. Yeah, WF. That was easy. Was it easy for me? I think I figured it out in the end. Yeah. No one told me. I was, you know, because many times, even if you're watching YouTube channels, a lot of people don't say width of fabric. That's what it means if you didn't know. You know, they just say WF, and you have to kind of debunk it yourself. Another one that is used is WIP. What do you think it means? What do you think it means? If you know, tell me down below. I want to see how many people know that simplistic one. It may be simplistic for me or for you, but there are some people who don't know. So I'm not going to say that one is. You tell me down below, what do you think WIP means? Okay, in quilting terms, that is. All right, another one that I have is a WST. Yeah, I've never really used this one in any of my quilting writing or pattern writing, but I have heard people say don't do it that way. It says WST, wrong sides together. Usually we say right sides together when you're placing your fabric, isn't it, to sew. but this one is wrong sides together, and yeah. But I guess you will probably use that, to me, in sewing rather than in quilting, to kind of hide a stitch. That's what I would think, you know, that one will be used for, really. But yeah, that's a new one, in the sense that I don't use that. Okay, now another one, this is the last one. Okay, and tell me, this one is wombat. Now there's an animal called wombat here in Australia, right? So when I read this, I was like, what are they talking about? Because my mind immediately jumped to the wombat. No, it actually means waste of money, batting, and time. Who came up with that? Really? Who? I'll say it again. Wombat. Waste of money, batting, and time. Oh my God. So basically what they're saying, if you ever heard, have I ever, you know what? I think this abbreviation or this mindset of this wombat came about that if you spent your whole time making a quilt, okay, and you didn't like it, or you came across fabric and you know, you just made this into something, and it'll be like, you know, what a waste of batting, money, time, everything, your fabric. So that's what it means. You just wasted your time on this particular project and it defeats you. All right, guys, I hope that you had fun with this as much as I actually did. I thought it was brilliant. I was just thinking, and I saw it came up on my computer, and I was like, you know what, I am going to do a video about this and share with you the funny side of quilting. Bye for now. Happy quilting, and look out for this one block wonder. See you soon, guys. Bye for now, and happy quilting. Love you loads.